What's up, Jeremy?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Been crazy busy here lately, which is
Yeah,
nothing
it's
new
been a
again.
minute.
Oh, with
Getting
everything going on.
it out.
So how'd your surgery and all go?
Surgery went real well. The surgeon, what he did was cut my nose open, and he took cartilage out of my left ear and added it to it to try to round it out a little more.
Uh,
Um, Not 100%, but it's pretty close. He did tell me a couple weeks ago that there is still um, still some more work to do.
Great.
Yeah, let's see here. Trying to.
So what's the prognosis of you getting, where you're not having to go to the doctor and surgeries and all that? Another 10 years?
No, there's. I think at most I may have two more to go.
Well, you're looking good for, going through a major face surgery.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a journey. That is for sure. Let's see here. I think I'm all shared out now. I hope. So how have you been?
Oh, like I said, busy. Nothing major going on other than
Hi,
um,
Chris.
had a birthday last month. My wife had a birthday a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. Uh, been shorthanded at work. Class is going really well. Went on a paranormal investigation for the first time in a long time last weekend. We got another one coming up in 2 weeks, a public event at Coachworth in Carrollton, Mississippi. Um, people, I know Coachworth is not out there on the radar because it's a very small. It's not. It's not been investigated by anybody other than us. Um, we were invited over there several years ago when the year Doyle passed, and we wanted to do a public event over there. And I was like, man, I really don't know if I'm going to mess with it. Because Doyle had just passed, and we were still trying to figure out what we were going to do. And then they contacted me again, and I was like, well, let me just look it up and see what it is. I started looking it up, and I was like, huh, looks a pretty nice place. They used the house in the filming of the movie The Help. The lady who had all the miscarriages that hired Minnie as her maid when she lost her job. It was her house, her and her husband's house. So um, it was a major motion picture. A lot has changed. The surroundings has changed a good bit. The pool is not there, and some of the fence and all is gone. But they actually filmed inside the house as well. So me and my wife was like, yeah, we'll go over there and talk to them and look at it and see, at least we can do that much. We went over there and we started going up the driveway. And the driveway goes in, and you go basically around the whole property and go towards the back. And we pulled in the driveway and started going in and looking. I was like, oh my God, this place looks awesome. Uh, it's an old antebellum type home. Um, Jay Z George owned the place, and it stayed in the family here and there. Uh, his law library is out in the courtyard, or in the front yard. It's an octagonal library. It's got a lot of first edition Mark Twain signed editions. He was friends with Mark Twain. All his law books are out there. Jay Z George was instrumental in writing most of the Mississippi Constitution in that library. So pretty historical place, but like I said, it's off the radar to most everybody because they don't do uh, private investigations. We just lucked out and got in there.
Those are some pretty rare books.
Yeah,
Expensive.
and it's
Mark Twain.
yeah, expensive books that are sitting there and basically uh, the humidity and everything is tearing them up. Yeah. Sad.
Well,
It's a
I
big.
thought I had a Mark Twain book in my library, but it turned out to be a condensed version of one of those books. And I'm thinking, no, I want the full thing. So I found out something really cool with this program now is that I can actually edit your mic volume.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
good.
I turned your volume up a little bit.
Okay.
I,
I didn't know how I was going to sound because we have not been on here in quite a while, and the kids and everybody else is always doing stuff on the computer. And hopefully, I'll have my laptop back soon that I'll be able to get all of this stuff on there.
well, this will actually be our last time on StreamYard.
Okay.
Uh,
I know we were having issues with it.
well, the main issue is the pricing,
Oh, okay.
where it was $468 a year is now $827.
Oh my God, they need to fire some people.
Yeah.
Get rid of some of those salaries.
Mhm. Yeah, several people have already left. I'm just basically finishing out the 1 year term that I have with them, which is coming up in 8 days.
Okay.
Uh, so I'll actually be canceling this subscription later on this week. Going to let a couple more shows go through, and then that's it.
What what platform are you going to?
I'm looking at OneStream. It seems
Okay.
like it's got everything that StreamYard has, but you can stream to up to 30 different locations
That'd be nice.
with the same price package.
Yeah.
So,
SteamYard's shooting himself in the foot and raising those prices.
oh boy, did they ever. Did they ever.
You're going to cancel, and they're going to wind up contacting you like, "Hey, we'll give you a great deal on another year," and they'll mark it way down, trying to get you back. Cause
That's what they've done for a few people, and they actually stayed. And I'm like, nope, I'm not going to play that game. If
yeah,
you want, you're going to give me the exact same price or a lower price for the same package. That's how it is going to be for me. I'm not playing that game.
yeah, there's a lot of companies that do that. Sirius Radio does it. I know a couple of cable companies have done it.
Yeah. Nope. Not going to happen to me. So let's get into this wrestling event called Bad Blood. It made its return after 20 years.
Yeah.
Bad Blood was held at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. And the State Farm Arena is actually the newer facility where the Omni Coliseum used to stand. And the Omni Coliseum was a mainstay for all of the old NWA, WCW events, pay-per-views. Hallowed Grounds, basically, it's basically the southern equivalent to Madison Square Garden in New York.
Yeah, I noticed they kept on talking about Tommy Rich
Yep.
and who else was it? Who else was they were talking about the really bad um, match they had, hardcore match type. Tommy Rich and somebody else. Can't remember who else it was. Was it Dusty? Terry
Mm,
Funk?
It's not often that you have a bad match with Tommy Rich.
Well, I mean, not bad in a bad way. I mean, like, bloody, graphic, old school hardcore.
Oh, would that have been Ric Flair?
Might have been. I know it's an old legend.
I know that he did have a feud with Ric Flair. He even won the NWA title at one time, but he only held on to it for like a week, something like that.
If it says anything in here in the quick scan through here.
So while you're looking for that, Bad Blood, 27 years to the day from the first pay per view. The way that I've been hearing it, they've been touting it as 27 years to the day since the last one. Uh, but they had Bad Blood just at one time in 1997. That was where Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker had the first ever Hell in a Cell match, and where Kane made his legendary debut.
Yeah, I
Uh,
remember that well.
Probably one of the more better debuts of anybody. But they did have, and that Bad Blood had two D's in bad. Um, then that went away, came back in 2003 and 2004 when they had regular Bad Blood, but those were held in June. And then for whatever reason they stopped using that name. Why, I don't know. And now all of a sudden out of nowhere they bring Bad Blood back again. I wonder if maybe they realize, hey, on this day that we're looking at, it's the same day that we had the original Bad Blood, so maybe we can capitalize on that.
Buzz Sawyer. That's who it was.
Who?
Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. Tommy Rich and Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer.
Oh,
That was what they kept talking about.
okay. I guess these Tommy Rich matches, I was going through some of the old WCW library and watching a bunch of Halloween Havocs, as part of my Halloween marathon this year. And they had some really, really good matches. And then all of a sudden in 1999, the production of everything WCW just went to hell. Um, it was almost like I was watching an independent wrestling show instead of the second largest wrestling company in the world.
That's got to be tied to new writers, new management. Something's in play there because you don't do.
Vince Russo had
Yeah,
come in. Eric Bischoff was fired at one point, then came back after a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely all tied into that because the production value is more like a second-rate TV show
right.
as opposed to how they used to be. And I'm thinking, And even though we already know what really killed WCW, but this certainly did not help it. But Bad Blood 24, 5 matches, and there's a lot of, they get a lot of flack out there that they only have so few matches when they used to have 8 or 9.
Well, they started a little earlier because the UFC also had an event that day, so they didn't want to share TV time with both of them going at the same time. So that was another reason.
The show still ran 3.5 hours.
I guess UFC came on right after they did.
Yeah, I had no interest in UFC at all.
I'll watch it some if it's on. But
Yeah.
I ain't sitting there, jumping at the hoops to, oh, it's coming on tonight. I got to sit down and watch it.
Well, most of those matches only last 3 or 4 minutes, if that.
Depends on how much hype they put into it. Sometimes there's quick matches. Sometimes there's drawn out three to 5 rounds.
Yeah. I still prefer the wrestling ones. At least you're almost guaranteed 10, 15 minutes of action. Very
Oh yeah,
exciting
I
action.
mean, I remember when I was a teenager. When they would talk about Mike Tyson's pay per views coming on, he's fighting so and so, and people are spending back then 40, $50 for the fight, and it lasts less than a minute or into one round. It's like that's a lot of money for 30-second match. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah. The point is, beat them as quick as you can because they're going to be doing the same thing to you.
Yep.
So, the attendance to this event, I saw 2 different sources. Um, Halfway through the show, Triple H was in the ring, and he announced that the attendance was 16,092. But there's a couple places online where they are saying that is 16,902. I'm pretty sure Triple H would not have made a mistake on that.
Yeah. Yeah. At any rate, it's over 16,000.
Yeah, so but either way, that's a pretty healthy attendance. When it wasn't that long ago when they were struggling just to get half of that amount of people in any given event.
Well, the ticket sales are just out the roof.
Yeah.
I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. Economy's horrible. They can't afford groceries and gas, and they don't have that extra money to spend on leisure. Going spending $300 on a wrestling ticket.
Yeah. And he also mentioned that Bad Blood was the 60th. I think he said the 60th sellout of the year.
That's including house shows.
Yeah. House shows, TV shows, but still, that's on average of 6 a month,
Mm-hmm.
which is not bad. Not bad at all. And when you think about the numbers that AEW's been putting out, it's pretty pitiful. I heard,
Like I haven't been able to really follow a whole lot the past couple months. Leading up to Bad Blood, I had not watched a regular weekly show in a while, so I was like trying to catch up and find out what was going on.
Yeah, I've only been able to keep up with the highlights on YouTube. That's the only time really I can watch any wrestling because I don't have cable anymore.
Yeah, we don't have cable.
Yeah, my cable companies price themselves out too. So
The first match, which really not knowing exactly what was going on, what matches were even there. Uh, I'd heard about the Hell in a Cell match and CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Uh, that was the longest match of the night at 31 minutes and 25 seconds.
mhm.
Um, that match was pretty wild. Let me see what the list is here.
It was one of the best Hell in a Cell matches they've ever had.
Yeah, I would say it's probably the match of the night.
Oh, easy.
Um,
Um, Originally, that match was going to be the main event of the night. That was going to go on last.
wonder why they chose to put it on first.
Well, if you're not going to be the main event, the next best
Be the opener.
yeah, the next best place is to open.
You had so much. Well, I guess with the what happened at the last match, I can see why they wanted that last.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
with
yeah, that has
nothing
to
there. So if it's not going to be the last match, it's got to be first. And
yeah.
we
And I'm
into
glad
that.
they went back to the gray and silver cell instead of the red one that they were using lately.
Well, if you look back at history and your first Hell in a Cells, even with later on with Undertaker and Mankind, uh, the
Hi, Nick.
the quality of the cell itself has went way up. You're dealing with chain link,
Um,
early on to basically a full-on metal secure structure where
yeah,
it's put
because those
together and made and welded and everything else,
would
not
sap.
thrown together. Yeah, I mean it looks like a real cage instead of a dog pen.
I'm really glad that these guys did not climb up to the top of the cell this time around, but they didn't need to. Um, and the use of the wrench in there, the way that they were doing that was reminding me so much of Abdullah the Butcher, the original Sheik, the way that they used their weapons, knives, forks, whatever they had, pencils.
Hmm.
I heard back then, it was the exact same manner that wrench was being used, and I'm thinking this is good because something like this we hadn't seen in 20, 30 years. So it's fresh, even though it's not new.
Right. Well, when he dumped the toolbox out on the ring, I was like, "Oh crap, what's he going to use?" And then he kind of threw it down, and then McIntyre's coming over. It's like he's fixing to hit him with that toolbox.
Oh
He
man,
clocked him. God,
he
he clocked
got
him.
16 stitches from that.
That was freaking wild. I mean, when they finally showed him again, I mean, he had blood just pouring all over his dang face. It was like, oh, this is some old school hardcore stuff right here.
Yeah,
I mean, it was so bad that the ref had to a couple times had to wipe blood off his face. Him and Punk both.
yeah, he did say that, and I think Michael Cole addressed that too, saying something along the lines that the referee was doing that just so that these guys can be able to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And what about that bump that Drew took on the stairs?
Is that the one where they where he suplexed him into the table?
No, he. Oh, what was he trying to do? Drew ended up in the air, and it looked like just above his waist, he smacked into the corner of the stairs that were inside the ring. And I'm thinking, if that doesn't mess up Drew's backup, I don't know what will, because that looked really bad.
Is that where Punk slammed him on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later on, Drew did like a follower slam on Punk onto the stairs, but this time it was flat on those stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I thought these guys, they both brought it. It was probably the most intense match. A lot of people are saying that this will probably be match of the year.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like back and forth, and just, I mean, it went 31 minutes. Say 25 of it was actually, moves and wrestling, easily.
And then probably the best part of that match was when Drew brought out that bag that I was sure was going to be filled with thumbtacks.
Everybody did. Everybody did. And then when he dumps it out, it's all those beads. I'm like, oh, it's beads. And then he stuffed them in his mouth.
Who would have ever thought that you could have the hottest feud of the year based off of a beaded bracelet?
It's the symbolization of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought that they would get a bracelet over more than half the people in AEW? No offense to those that are working there, but it seems like the directions, from what I've noticed, that the directions over there and the production's just not as good as what it is in WWE right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's been that way for a very long time. You're smaller.
Yeah.
Well, they smaller. I mean, they are smaller. But your other wrestling factions is like, they're constantly trying to play catch up. Now, the last Sting match, it was very exciting. I enjoyed that last match with him. It had a lot of good stuff in it.
I had only seen some clips of it. I never got to see the actual match, but that spot that Darby Allin did, that was was insane.
Mm-hmm. You need to go back and watch that. You can pull it up on YouTube and watch that match. It's a really good match.
Well, supposedly they're signed to a streaming service now. So maybe if they have like a package like what WWE does and spend like $6 a month to watch all this stuff.
Well, you can still get on there and find a video of it. I mean, it's out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Even if it's a fan made video from the crowd, which I saw a couple of those.
I'll probably look for one of those. But the beads in the bag, that CM Punk grabbed a handful of that and shoved them down his throat. Drew's throat. There, right there.
Right before I put him to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a perfect way to end that match. It was. Whoa! What was that?
Somebody showed up at my house. Fly 360.
Well, when I raised up your mic uh,
Sprung. But
volume,
yeah, I'll turn everything
everything
down.
else went up.
I'm
So
hoping I'm hoping that this ends that feud and they go a different direction because there's nothing else they can do after that match. There's no way to top anything they've done. I mean, they could, but I mean,
what more can
third
what
or fourth match,
can they do?
third or fourth match.
What can they do after that match?
You know, it's like, all right, let's move on to them going a different direction with each one of them.
Yeah, well, the way that it sounds like Punk is taking a little time off to recuperate, which I can't say I blame him. He was looking pretty rough.
McIntyre needs to do the same thing.
Yeah, then Drew with this, he's going to need some time on that too.
Well, you just think about, having to put stitches up here. You're gonna have to shave some of that to get to the stitches and all that, and let it heal up. And
The picture that I saw, they didn't shave it; they just stapled it right in
just
there.
cut up.
Yeah, yeah, that wasn't looking pretty either. And as as amazing as that match was, can you imagine being the match that had to follow that one?
It's like we'll just get out here and have fun, and because you're not going to beat that one. Not a singles match. Not a who was it? Was it?
Nia and Bailey.
Oh yeah, yeah. That there's no way Nia could have done anything to help push that over the other.
Now, the match that they had at SummerSlam, that one was good. And Bailey had some feats of strength that nobody saw coming.
Mm-hmm.
And she tried to do that again.
I saw a couple mishaps in there.
Yeah.
Um, the
Well,
whole
when she was trying to carry her halfway across the ring.
yeah, I think they were trying to do something there, but she's just so big. There's no way make it look like it's real.
Right.
You know.
She ended up doing like a halfway hurricanrana.
Yeah, and Belly sold it really good as if it was a
Yes.
thing, and just like it didn't look good.
And uh who was it? Eric Bischoff. I I was watching a reaction video that he was doing. Well, he and Conrad Thompson reviewed the whole show right after it happened. And they were talking about that spot, and Eric said that he felt so bad for both of them because the commentators asked for a replay of that.
I don't
And
know why.
yeah, they asked for the replay. They slowed it down, and you could
It looks
see.
really horrible now.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely could have done without that. Uh, but still, the match itself wasn't bad.
Oh, excuse me. Now, you can't really compare everything to that one match. You got to look at them as their own entity. Um, I mean, they had a decent match. Did it go the way I would like it to? No, but I know they're still building on that storyline. Eventually, Tiffany is going to wind up somehow or another getting a title shot.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting on that
Um,
one. And those two, from what I'm seeing, they're best friends. They
yeah,
are
I think
legitimate.
like off screen they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do TikTok videos all the time and all of that. Um, and that's something that I'm liking because that makes me more of a fan of Naya because you're seeing the real her in these
Mhm.
TikTok videos, and then seeing what she's doing on TV is like, damn, she's got some skill. She's got range.
What I like, what I like a lot now, I see, and it all has to do with where our social media has come to, is where for the first time uh, in wrestling business is where you're able to see who they really are outside of the shows.
Yeah, you
Um,
you get the human aspect of them.
right, and the first thing is like I really didn't pay it a whole lot of mind until Taker started. After he retired, he started bringing all this stuff out in the documentary and all that. And I was like, this is awesome because this is somebody you've never seen outside of the Dead
Mhm.
Man. That's it. And now it's like we're seeing all this footage and everything coming out,
Yep.
and talking about everything. So I enjoy watching who they are outside their persona. Um, some are good, some are bad. Some of the older kind of names, but I hear stories about some of the older wrestlers,
Hmm.
big names, uh, that kind of underhanded type stuff, playing politics backstage.
Yeah. But yeah, I am definitely looking forward to seeing what is going to happen with Bailey and Naya. Um,
I'm
and
hoping, I'm
from
hoping
what
that
I've seen, that wasn't even addressed on SmackDown yesterday,
what was
which
that?
the Naya and Tiffany.
They didn't even bring it up.
Not from what I saw.
I
Uh,
saw them walk into the ring. I watched a little bit of it, and I saw where they were walking to the ring, and then I was at work. I had to go and do something else.
I saw where Naya and Liv, because Naya and Liv are going to be facing each other at Crown Jewel.
I don't
Um,
know. I don't know if I'm. I don't know about that. I understand what he's doing with that whole crown jewel award and all that. Like,
and speaking of which, that is not a good looking championship belt.
no, it's too gawky and big.
Yeah, way too big. It's like twice the height of the regular championships. But my guess is that the Saudis are the ones that had that made, because I can't imagine WWE actually making that.
50 carats, 50 carats of diamonds in it.
Yeah, and if the Saudis made that belt, then this belt is probably the real thing. Real gold, real diamonds. Wouldn't hell they can afford it. It's probably the most expensive championship out there right now. Um,
Pulling up something here. Just curious.
but yeah, Naya and Bailey, they went 14 minutes and 10 seconds, so they had a good stretch of a match. But they had the unfortunate thing, having to follow that Hell in a Cell, because after seeing a match like that, nobody would want to follow that one up.
No,
'Cause by then the crowd is worn out. Hell, I was worn out sitting here watching that. So imagine what the atmosphere in the building was like.
look at
Um,
it. How much this?
you're looking up that belt.
I'm looking up the carats.
I think he said 50. But the next match, shortest match of the night at 12 minutes and 45 seconds, is Damian Priest taking on Finn Balor. Finn had a pretty good entrance, wearing that head cover that he's been wearing these last couple times.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, how do you see out of that thing? That match was really good. Seen some really weird spots though, like when Damien, when Finn was doing his coup de grace move,
Mm-hmm.
and he did that at the top of Damien's back as he was getting up. And that one could have turned out real bad.
Yeah, I didn't bring me nothing. They ain't bringing me nothing quick on what I was looking for. It's something I'll look into. Crown Jewel comes up.
Yeah, Crown Jewel will be what I think is the first weekend of November.
Okay.
Yep, November 2nd. Then the week before will be Halloween Havoc. I'm looking forward to that one.
What is it? Halloween Havoc?
Yeah, NXT Halloween Havoc. Yeah, that's going to be on Sunday, the 27th. Right now, they only have one match kind of announced. Trick Williams will be taking on either Ethan Page, Javon Evans, or Wesley Lee. Javon Evans is somebody to keep an eye on. This guy soars in the air.
Say that again.
Javon Evans, he flies. We've seen a lot of people flying off the ropes, but something about him, it's like he lives in the air. The way that he moves.
I was looking for something on that belt, but I never did.
We don't want to see it. That's an ugly belt.
I want to see how much it was worth. Looking to see how much it cost them to make. I'll do some research on before Crown Jewel hits.
It's got to be an expensive belt, that's for sure.
Pick your arm back up.
Huh?
Pick your arm back up. Yeah, other one. Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't realize you had tattoos.
Yeah, I got tattoos everywhere.
I didn't. I never see your arms. Most of the time it's except for torso.
Yeah. Well, it's just how the camera is. When you see me in person, you should have seen my arms then.
I can't remember that far ago. I'm lucky to remember the damn pay per view from a couple weeks ago.
I hear you on that. But Damian Priest and Finn Balor, they had a really, really good match. they did have that one spot that I wasn't sure if that was what they had intended to do. With Finn jumping on Damien's back the way that he did, it
Yeah.
looked it looked dangerous when that happened. But still, they had a hell of a match.
I'm trying to think of, was there anything that was really big in that match? The holy shit moments.
Carlito and JD came out and interfered and almost cost Damien the match.
Yeah. My back is hurting for some reason. So I can't sit comfortable because I'm way back.
That's what I'm doing. I'm leaning back.
Yeah, I got this, green screen thing. It's like cutting half of me off. Tried something new.
Yeah. So
Stay there.
I don't know if this victory here finally releases Damien from Judgment Day, or if this is just another step on the road. If they're going to continue on feuding, I'm not sure what's going to happen beyond this point.
I don't know. It depends on how I see with that with War Games coming up. Probably them having another match with extra people in there. Old school Judgment Day with Damien, whoever he pulls in.
And let's not forget, Finn and JD are tag team champions.
It depends on how they want to go with Priest. Do they want him singles? Do they want him tag? Somebody that could go with tag titles. There's nobody that I see right now that would jump in there and fit. Make a good fit with them.
Well, R-Truth and The Miz.
They're still different.
Yeah. But now that The Miz has turned on R-Truth, that's done.
He did.
You didn't know about that?
No.
Yeah, I think that was 2 weeks ago now.
Okay, let's see. That's something I missed. Why'd he turn on him?
Yeah, Miz turned on R-Truth, and I think a lot of that had with Karrion Kross. And now, this week on Raw, we're going to be seeing The Miz and R-Truth in one-on-one.
Okay, that won't be the last time.
Now, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this. Now, granted, to me, Miz is a much better heel than he is a face.
Mm-hmm.
I think that everybody can agree. Even the Miz can agree to that one. But he also said something during an interview that he had with Cody that he was really enjoying the cheers right now. And the only way he thinks that he's even hearing the cheers is because of his association with R-Truth, because everybody loves R-Truth. Nobody will boo him. I can't imagine anybody booing him after what he's done these last few years.
Oh yeah, he's hopefully he'll get a title run, even if it's a short one. He's getting up in age, and it'd be nice to get a title run.
That's the beauty about R-Truth. He is in a lot better shape and conditioning than most of guys half his age.
Mm-hmm. I see him on TikTok. He's got a TikTok channel that I sometimes hit up. and just sitting at home talking, playing music and crap. You know.
So that's another way where people are getting to know Archer.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, that was a good match. And then comes the match that a lot of people were waiting on: Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Dominic Mysterio held up in the shark cage.
Yeah. I don't know how much farther they can go with this, Liv and Rhea thing. I'm thinking they're gonna transition it to Rhea and Raquel now.
Is what it looks like. Yeah.
Um, you can't have the same match over and over, even if you have different stipulations. It gets old, after you've been wrestling several times.
Especially since Liv is now going to be going up against Nia on this next pay per view.
Mhm. And I wouldn't doubt that there's some kind of interference from Rhea and Raquel getting involved in it somehow or another. Because Dom will probably come in there, Tiffany will probably come in there, and that's going to bring Rhea down there. Who knows what's going to happen with that?
I'm glad to see Raquel back, and I have mentioned this before, but when we see her, she's too nice and all of that. We need a fire lit under her ass. I think we're going to see that now.
Um, I was trying to thought I was going to ask you something. Oh, I know what it was. The whole crown jewel thing. I understand what they're doing, and title versus, champion versus champion, no titles, basically for the crown jewel. You know, you're going to have right now Cody and Gunther fighting for that award there. Regardless of who wins or loses, it's going to whoever loses is going to take a hit on their uh, I guess their win lose streak.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to lose. So, and it's just so much dynamic, or so much else going on with the bloodline. Uh, with Roman popping back in there, you got Jimmy, um,
Oh,
and I see Jay coming into the mix somehow or another. I just see that down the road coming.
mhm.
It's just so much they could turn the story into. So many different directions they can go with this now.
And so many people are interwoven into different scenarios.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I really like about this, because like for Liv, okay, she's getting ready to get in the ring with Nia, but she's still got Rhea to contend with, who now has Raquel that she's got to look over her
Yeah.
for. And that also begs the question: is Raquel now going to be in the Judgment Day? And so
And
far, I
where
haven't heard anything about that.
and where do you put? And you also have Tiffany in the side there. That's in the mix also. Be with Nia.
Liv and um, Liv and Raquel, bringing Raquel out with her. Nia brings Tiffany out with her. Then Rhea comes out. Oh boy, I can just see an all-out Donnie book with all of these.
Now, Could Tiffany technically? I mean, it's all on the writers, and you can pretty much do anything you want to with writers. Could Tiffany cash in for the crown jewel? It's
Hmm.
supposed to be a world title, or supposed to be a title match.
Well, for that title, the titles that they hold will not be on the line.
Right.
So what if Nia beats Liv, and Nia is definitely going to be the favorite here, no doubt. So what if she does win, Nia Jax does, and then something
She
happens.
cashed in on Liv
Tiffany cashes in after somebody else lays Nia out.
or Liv. If Liv loses and she cashes in on Liv, right there.
Yeah. And then that would send her to actually, you know what? That if she cashes in on Liv, that means she can move over to Raw, and that's where Ludwig Kaiser is
That who
because
she said.
Ludwig Kaiser
Uh-huh.
is he's on Raw, so that'll give them a chance to be able to have the same schedule. Because Tiffany and Ludwig live together now. They just bought a house together not too long ago.
Okay.
Um, but Dominic is held up in a shark cage, and I think it was Chris I was talking to about this. Um, that where he was suspended was over the entranceway.
Hmm.
Before they used to do it in the middle of the ring. Well, that'd be kind of hard to do that with the cell there. But technically, they could run the chain down in between the bars
Yeah.
and do it that way.
I kind of liked it where it was.
It made more sense that way, yeah. Um,
Of course, if something went wrong, Dom would have the cushion of the ring to land on if he had actually fell completely out, as opposed to hanging upside down.
like what he did there towards the end of that match.
Yeah, I knew he was coming out one way or another. Somehow or another he was going to get out of the ring or get out of the cage. Um, I
Yeah, but
just didn't know exactly how he was going to get down.
I wasn't expecting that. I'm surprised he went along with that because what if there was any give to that chain?
Oh, he would have crashed on his head.
Yeah,
And I'm sure they went through the um, testing and all. Probably went through dry runs of it several times before. You know, so they had everything down before you really did it in front of everybody.
how many times does it take to pop your leg out of your hip?
I would say he's probably had a harness on and it wasn't actually tied to his ankle, but it was actually
It was hard to
uh, hooked up through his pants, up to his a harness in his up in his coming up under his clothes. That's what I think.
it was hard to tell. Yeah,
I won't do that. It's too early for that.
it was hard to tell. I don't know if I would have been able to do that. And then while he's hanging up there, Rhea gets the kendo stick and just starts whacking at him.
The first thing that come to mind when she come out there with a kendo stick, I was like, it's a human pinata.
Yep,
Human pinata.
that's how Triple H referred to him as the pinata there in the post show. And you can tell Triple H is having a lot of fun when he talks about Dom.
Dominic is, I mean, he's a great heel.
Yes, he is.
It's taken me a long time to warm up to his character because I was like, he's just, I don't know why they're pushing him so hard, to be more than what he is. But um, he plays that not necessarily as he's good in the ring. Don't get me wrong, but he's really good as the manager. Uh, sidekick running and just be a thorn in the side.
Yeah.
Um,
And
you
then
know,
half of the
everybody,
things,
everybody.
but I bet you most of the guys that hate him is because of half of what he gets to do with Liv Morgan. Now,
True.
come on. That is a man's dream right there.
Well, they made a comment. I think it was during that match about she keeps him in chicken nuggies and pizza and crap.
Yeah, I did hear something about that. Uh, actually, I think Dom said something about that during a promo or something about all the things that she gives him or does for him. I can't
I can just see
remember
him.
what it was,
I can see him backstage eating Happy Meal with chicken nuggets in it.
and speaking of chicken nuggets, Bad Blood was partly sponsored by Wendy's, along with a lawyer.
I did see the Wendy's signs around the ring.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at that Wendy's.
So I was pretty happy to see Wendy's as a sponsor there because that's my favorite restaurant right there, fast food wise.
I like Wendy's, I like Burger King. I'm not happy with McDonald's right now. It's story for another time off the air.
You don't have a McDonald's?
Yes, we do.
Oh.
Yeah, we got one, if that's what you want to call
Well, our Wendy's here closed not too long ago.
it. Really?
Yeah,
You have a Hardee's up there?
I'm hearing several different things. Bad management. They're not keeping the place clean. So I have never had an issue any of the times that I've been there, but apparently many other people have. But
Oh, that's good.
I have never had an issue. But those are the things that I heard: bad management. The place is filthy, which I'm not
It's,
really sure what.
if you went behind the scenes and seen some of these fast food restaurants, KFC, Taco Bell, you name these fast food places, you wouldn't eat there.
I know. So that's why I'm kind of surprised. I hear so many bad things about our Burger King. I've never had an issue with Burger King here before.
Do y'all have a Hardee's?
But where?
Hardee's?
It's been a minute. Um, I have had a couple of issues with Hardee's. One got my order wrong, and this particular one was out of town, and I went to get some two biscuits and gravies. Get it up there at that Hardee's, bring it home, open it up, and I notice I have one biscuit and gravy and the other some kind of a Danish. And I'm thinking, how do you get that mixed up?
Our McDonald's here, it's not. It's uncommon to get your order right.
I hear that at every McDonald's.
It's ridiculous. But if you ever eat at Hardee's, get you a Frisco burger. Those things are so good.
Usually I get biscuits and gravy for myself, and I'll get the breakfast platter for Dad. At McDonald's, have you ever thought about giving them the wrong order so that they would get that wrong and end up giving you what you actually
That's
want?
what we wanted. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something that actually worked?
Just throw something in the bag. Here's $10.
So back to Bad Blood. Um, Rhea and Liv, with the exception of the whole Dominic falling out of the cage and Rhea beating the shit out of him, the match itself didn't really hold up for me. Not like the match that they had at SummerSlam.
Mhm. You
Um,
know, I'm not so sure that the ending of it was kind of a botch because
what a lot of people are thinking.
um, now at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is, regardless. Whether she wins with Kel interfered and referee not seeing it, or what happened, they just wanted to disqualify him. Because
The
even
one,
Raquel pulled Liv over top of her after
yeah,
the ball had been running.
that's what a lot of people are thinking is that um, Liv was supposed to pin Rhea after um, after Raquel did what she did, but the way that it was done for the referee to not see her just would not have come out right.
Right. It's like, just do an audible, because and you can't ignore it.
Well, somebody called for the bell. The referee was clear across the ring from them, and I didn't see him being the one calling for the bell. I don't know how that
It
how
might have
that
been,
out.
it might have been Triple H from the back seeing what had transpired. It's like, all right, seeing that the referee could see everything. No, you could have hit that.
Yeah.
They didn't they have the referee cam uh, during
For
that pay per
that,
view,
yeah, they
but
did for that match.
you really didn't see it come on that much. Once or twice. I don't even remember seeing it during the match. I remember seeing it before.
I think the only time that I seen it was when Rhea came in and told him, "Hey, give me a minute. I need to take care of this." When Dominic was hanging outside it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he
Um,
said something like, "Yeah, you deserve that," or something to that fact.
I don't know, but yeah, the ending of the match wasn't good. But that spot there with Dominic, oh, that was scary. And when he dropped down there, I know it all happened in a span of like half a second. But just think of yourself being him, and you go off that cage, and you're falling, and it seemed like the chain just kept getting longer and longer and longer, and it wasn't going to stop.
Well, I'm sure they had it all pre-planned on exactly how far it had to go.
I know, but that ain't going to scare me any less.
It's like the time they hung Big Boss Man up, hung from the noose.
Oh, well, you could clearly see the harness back there, the way
Yeah,
that was done.
yeah. So they did a better job of hiding this one.
Yeah, but they were lifting him up above
Yeah.
the ring. Dominic was going down to the concrete. That could have been some serious damage there.
Yeah, luckily nothing happened. Other than he got his ass whipped with a cane.
Well, right now I'm hearing people calling for Dominic to um, take on and win the Intercontinental title from Jey Uso.
I don't know how. If Jay's going to lose it, I would see um, Bloodline. I'd see Solo and them interfering with it. If they're going to lose it that way. Now, he could win it with, if say down the line, Mysterio and him are fighting with Dom, or fighting for the title. I see Bloodline interfering and making him lose it. And it'll probably lead up to something where he's interfering somehow or another with them first.
Right now he's in the middle of a feud with Braun Breaker.
If they do it, you could have because Cody's still in the mix there. So if they come out, if Bloodline comes out and interferes in one of Cody's matches, and then Jay comes out and helps him,
Yeah.
and then in turn they help him lose the title to whoever.
And speaking of the Bloodline and Cody, that brings us to our last match, 25 minutes and 50 seconds. Now, this is the night that firmly tells us that Cody Rhodes isn't the guy. And the reason being is because Cody Rhodes came out first.
I didn't like the band stuff going on.
You're not the first person I've heard say.
That was a bad call. I understand why they did it and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
it didn't mix well with all that. Even the orchestra stuff, you know, with Roman coming out.
Just that Cody was born and raised there, but Roman went to school there.
Yeah.
But for me, it was clear as day. Cody comes out first, which I thought was, odd. He does this thing like he always does, comes out to the ring, and then all of a sudden here comes Roman, and it's just watching from the entrances alone. Roman's the guy. He is the number one guy there in the entire company. He just has that thing about him that I don't think Cody will ever have. But that's my opinion. I think Cody has done a really good job in his position. He is insanely popular. He's got the respect of a lot of people, especially considering that he had the balls to lead the WWE and literally reinvent himself from the ground up, which is the only reason that he's in this position to begin with.
Right.
If he had not have done that, he would be mid-card or less today.
I look at him, if he hadn't left, he'd be done.
Yeah.
He'd be running he'd be running that some little thing on his own. You know, he's just one of the regular players in the game.
Yeah.
Um,
So he had to leave in order to elevate himself up to the level that he's at.
mhm.
But even as high as Cody is, doesn't even touch Roman. But like I said, that's my opinion.
I think it's so much of that's going on with the bloodline that adds to that Roman popularity and him coming back as babyface. Um, it's kind of like the hype behind Cody when everybody wanted to finish the story. Finish the story. That's all everybody talked about. You can change the whole WrestleMania 40 main event around, um, and I think that's what we're seeing now with Roman. He's back. It's new. Something new with him. See where the story goes, and it's going to last a while because now you've got The Rock that popped in at the end. And I was totally surprised. I wasn't expecting him to pop out. I was expecting Jimmy to come out. I kind of see that coming, but then Rock shows up.
I wasn't even thinking about Jimmy. It's
Really?
no, not for that night. Um, really, what I thought would happen was that at the end of the show, it would be Cody and Roman staring each other down, and that's where the show ends. I thought the bloodline would go away. Cody Roman stay in the ring. They won the match, and they're just staring each other down because Roman told him in that thing that they did at the football stadium that you're in my way in life. And I fully expected to see a continuation of that right there at the end.
I'm glad they did it the way they did because I don't want to see another WrestleMania with them two fight for the title. Um, they've got to do something different.
Well, I think this is the opportunity that they're going to take to make Roman and Cody as the first two to ever headline three WrestleManias.
The Rock's in there somehow.
There are people that are saying that it's going to be a triple threat with The Rock, Roman, and Cody. Personally, I want to see Rock and Roman
That's
one
me.
on one.
I want to see, and that'd be a way to have Cody feud with somebody else, and then kind of step away from the bloodline storyline,
Right.
and then have Rock and Roman tied up at 41.
Um, Roman looked to be in incredible shape.
And see with that, there's no title involved, so you don't have to worry about if the Rock wins uh, that match because there's no title there. So you ain't got to worry about him coming and having to wrestle to lose it.
He looked to be in incredible shape. He did almost look a little thinner, though.
The Rock did.
No, Roman.
I'm talking about the Rock did too. You could see here where he has lost some weight.
Oh, yeah, he probably has.
And it
Uh,
kind of, I think, falls into, well, I saw a thing about Batista, and they were talking about how big Batista was back in the day and how much he has slimmed down and lost a lot of weight. And he explained it to where he's like, I was this big in the movies, I'm this big monster of a guy, just huge, overpowering everybody else. And it's like, I had to slim down to kind of not overshadow everybody.
yeah, and a lot of people thought like cancer because
Hmm.
he just did not look good being so thin.
That's because we're used to seeing, this big
Right.
monster.
Even I was worried about that. I'm thinking, holy cow. But he's still like 240 pounds. So he's still a big boy. Um, but he is also getting up there in age too. He's like 50 something.
I remember when he first came on the scene, he was with Evolution with Triple H and Ric Flair. Went to a house show, probably the last house show, or one of the last house shows I saw a long time ago. Um, that's when he was still working on the back tattoo. It wasn't even colored in yet.
He's 55 years old, Batista is.
God, he's older than I am.
Mhm. Yeah, he's 55 years old. The Rock is
57.
52.
What?
He's 52.
Okay. I'm older than The Rock.
You old man, you.
Just by a little bit.
Yeah, he's 52. Batista is 55. And ironically, The Rock started wrestling before Batista did, but
Yeah,
the game
a,
plan.
a long time before Batista did.
hmm
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, see, and there are also rumors flying around that The Rock has already told WWE that he is not going to be available for WrestleMania next year. I'm calling bullshit on that one. I just don't see it. Number one, The Rock can control his schedule, do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and Triple H has said as much.
Well, I think that's just to throw you off. You know, so it keeps us guessing for WrestleMania. We still got many months away. We got to finish off this year and start off next year and see where Royal Rumble goes. And who knows? A lot of stuff can happen over the course of next
And it's
couple
all
months.
happening so quick too. Uh, there is a spot there towards the end that I thought was incredibly brilliant, and that was when it was Cody and Jacob fighting outside, and Cody gets Jacob on the table, and he gets up on the turnbuckle and jumps off and takes Jacob out. But before he jumps out, he turns to Roman and gives him a salute, which tells me the match is yours.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knew that after he does this move, he is done.
He
It,
was bounced up on that turnbuckle really well.
he got up on the ring post.
Yeah, that's what I meant. He was standing with both feet on that ring post.
Man, that's
And you could see where when they landed, the camera guy was like right there on top of him. You could see
yeah.
hands touching, arm touching, you know, saying, I'm okay. Are you okay?
I did. I also caught that in one of the other matches too. Um, one of the women's matches. I, I think it was the women's match. I caught somebody doing that in one of the other matches that night. I'm pretty sure it was one of the women's matches. But yeah, I thought that was just the little details like that that just add so much to to the story. And then Jimmy comes out. And I saw the other side of the camera on that one. You saw it
He was,
too?
yeah, he was standing out there for a little bit.
Well, no, he came out from underneath the ring. And I'm thinking to myself, there is no way people can expect Tama and Tonga not to have seen something come out like that. But, it is what it is. And even when I saw that, I still wasn't entirely sure if that was going to be Jimmy or not. Because I've seen Jimmy do something like that. I've seen Jay do something like that.
I just felt it was right because Jimmy's been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
Since April. I was like, that's Jimmy.
Well, technically, as far as actually wrestling in the ring, Jimmy has been gone as long as Roman has.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to see him come back, and the pop that they got when Roman and Jimmy hugged. That was a good moment. And then they left Cody there by himself, and then Cody starts getting blasted by the bloodline. And then there was that hesitation by Roman.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was just that one time. That was what we agreed to, one time. And Jimmy's like, come on, man, I'm with you, but we need to go help him. And that was the moment that solidified Roman as a true babyface.
Mm-hmm. The other night they were having a thing with him and Jimmy in the ring, and he kept saying, "There's somebody that can help us." I know it'd help, and then everybody starts hollering, "Yeet, yeet, yeet!" And it's like, no yeet. So.
No, yeah, that was. I was laughing when he did that. Because really, when you think about it, it was Jay that they had the most tension, Roman and Jay. Even though Jimmy was the one who told Jay they needed to get out of there. But even then, there's still 4 of the bloodline. Well, this bloodline, they still need 1 more for the original bloodline.
They could bring Sami Zayn over.
That's what everybody's banking on. But there are 2 other Fatus coming to WWE. I know one for sure it's been publicly announced, has signed, and is said to be going to NXT right now. Hikulia is the name he goes by. Hikulia, something like that. And he is tall, like 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". And word is that he's going to be going by the name Tala Tonga, suggesting that he would be joining Solos.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another guy named Zilla Fatu that supposedly he is signed. But I haven't heard anything official. I do know that a lot of people are expecting him to sign with them. And he is Umaga's son.
Okay.
So I don't know. And we're a month away from Survivor Series. Let's see here. Crown Jewel. Survivor Series. Oh, November 3rd, after Thanksgiving. So we're still a month and a half away.
A lot can happen between then and then.
Yeah, November 30th. That is a Saturday. So it looks like all their pay-per-views are on Saturdays now. So, oh, and we did skip the in-ring thing with Triple H and Gunther.
Yeah, it wasn't that
Yeah,
big a deal. Just talking about
no,
that Crown Jewel thing.
it might be. It might be with Goldberg.
Yeah,
Yeah, after doing something like that, I'm not really sure they would do that if they weren't planning on having a match between Gunther and Goldberg.
I don't know. I think that maybe more to his son maybe coming over.
He looks like he could be a wrestler too.
Hmm. I see that coming, down the road.
What if this is a way to lead into his son being a wrestler, like what they did with Dominic? Look at how many times Dominic had been included in the storylines before he actually became a wrestler.
Oh yeah, and you had Flair's boys also, long time ago, WCW.
Oh, David Flair.
Hmm.
That didn't work out so well, did it?
Yeah,
I felt bad for him.
it's like that whole, you got this really famous wrestling father, and then you got to live up to that, and it just
I know. Well, Charlotte has lived up to it very well.
yeah,
And there were a lot of people that were saying that Reed was going to live up to it as well before he died. But David, I remember watching him when he first came on, thinking, "Oh, this guy is not good."
yeah. I think it's just he got in there with a Flair name. I'm fixing to get off here. Been going an hour and 34 minutes.
Wow! And we've been at it for 94 minutes.
Yeah,
We actually did this inside of 2 hours.
yeah. 5 matches, not that hard. And we talked about, McDonald's and stuff, Hardee's and Burger King.
Yeah, that is true. So the next event is Halloween Havoc, and that is on Sunday the 27th. I will definitely be watching that because Halloween Havoc was my favorite WCW pay per view.
I will. I, I think I'm off that day. As of right now, I'm off that day. Um, we do have a double night investigation public event up at Coatsworth. Uh, Tickets are on sale here tomorrow, maybe. Um, but so I'll be pulling double night. So I imagine I'll be kind
The
of
when is
late.
when is that one?
That's the 25th and 26th.
Okay.
We're staying. Plan on staying overnight the 25th, sleeping there that night. A couple of us anyway.
Do you want to try to do a show next weekend? Now I know for sure that Saturday is no good for me because I'm doing the Para Unity convention all day on Saturday.
Next week's gonna be tough for me. I got a lot of stuff going on next weekend, and plus I work the 20th. Um, maybe I'll try to maybe do a pre-recording or something on the 16th. Ooh, I got to work the 16th.
We record on the 16th.
Yeah, I got to work that night.
Oh,
Try to do something the week of the 20th, somehow or another.
They would have to be, well, Tuesday, the 22nd, I'm free all day. For the 21st, 23rd, I would have to do something like later in the afternoon.
Let's do 22nd then, because
Okay.
as of right now, I have nothing going on that day.
Oh,
Other
actually,
than my normal routine.
then I would not have been able to do anything. I got to go down to Indy that day, so I'm going to be gone all day for that one.
On 22nd?
No, the 23rd. But you say the 22nd you can do something?
Yeah, I can do some 22nd.
We'll come up with a topic because we're not going to have a pay-per-view to review for that one.
We were talking about reviewing somebody, somebody that just passed. Sid Vicious.
Did we?
Yeah, we were talking about doing something. I don't know. We'll come up with a topic.
Yeah, Sid was the most recent passing that I know of.
Or maybe we can just talk about, past wrestlers that have passed on this past.
Yeah, like we can do a handful of wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that then.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just have to figure out between now and then, let's say 5 of them. Or would that be too much to try to do in one show?
Let's go with 4.
Okay.
We'll do Sid, and then we'll do, Dusty.
Dusty.
Would be good.
Okay. Oh boy, you could probably do a whole show on Dusty.
Dusty.
All right, yeah, we'll figure out who all will do
Okay.
that.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, for those that have been listening to us, thank you so much. Bad Blood 2024 to me was a double thumbs up. I give that show an A plus.
Yeah, me too. Best match was clearly Drew and CM Punk, and I'm not a big fan of CM Punk. Yeah, but it was kind of growing on me, kind of like Dominic.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement. That was definitely the match of the night, and
even Roman's growing on me.
Huh?
Even Roman's growing on me, and I wasn't a big fan of Roman.
He has come so far from how it used to be for him. But yeah, definitely Drew and Punk match of the night, and a very, very strong contender for match of the year. It's going to be hard pressed finding a match better than that. To me, the 2 main events of WrestleMania this year would have to be in that same consideration as well. So, all right. Well, we will go ahead and call it a day. Everybody, thank you for playing along, joining us today, and we will. Well, we won't see you next weekend, but we will have a pre-record the following weekend, right before Halloween Havoc.
Sounds good. We can kind of talk a little bit about Halloween Havoc during the show. That way, it kind of leads up to it.
Yeah, by the time we end up doing that show, they should have at least a couple of matches announced by then.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, we'll go ahead and bid everybody a good day, and we'll see you later.
Take it easy.